Welcome back, everyone. Today we'll get up close and personal with one of the most sought-after commodities in history, one that pirates have pillaged for. Explorers have looked for it in lost towns, failed jewelers and fashion businesses utilize it to make stunning products that are traded to investors, and even computer companies require it. Yes, gold is the topic at hand. Hello and welcome to Z.com, a source of information. You're missing out if you haven't subscribed yet. It has been used as a medium of exchange longer than any other currency in the world, and because we take it for granted that it is a sign of wealth, we may never have thought to ask how it became so valuable in the first place. If this thought ever occurred to you, you probably assumed that the price of pure or 24-karat gold, which is currently over $1,700 an ounce, is that high simply because it is rare and attractive. Well, I'm going to challenge that notion. Yes, those are both significant considerations, but there is actually a lot more to it. To figure out why gold is so expensive, let's look at some of the reasons that it is uncommon. No prizes for guessing that this metal isn't on the list of the world's rarest ones, but it is nonetheless quite rare. Compared to other precious metals that are frequently compared to like silver, gold is about 10 times more rare. More steel is produced every hour than the gold that has been extracted from the earth in all of human history. If you combined all of the above surface gold in the world in pure form, you'd only end up with about 190,000 tons, which is enough to fill 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools. The process of extracting gold has never been simple. In the past, gold prospectors would pan for the metal, and even today, images of miners in hats and boots digging through mud in Brazil or South Africa are common. However, more often than not, the extraction of gold involves expensive machinery that is heavily labor-intensive. If you wanted to start a gold mining operation, you would need a lot of capital. Less than 1% of all areas prospected result in profitable mines, so it's no wonder that whenever miners do literally hit gold, they demand high prices. At the moment, China is the world's largest gold producer, accounting for 12% of world production. Of all the things that gold is used for, we're going to start with jewelry because it's the oldest application that we are aware of, and because 50% of the gold that is mined today is still used for this original application of making things look blingy. In 2019, about 4,400 tons of gold were used to make jewelry, and it just so happens that if you ask jewelers to think of an imaginary metal that they would love to work with. First, let's go a little technical. It's highly adaptable. Gold is the most malleable of all metals, making it the ideal material to make necklaces, watches, ornaments, and any other object of objective beauty you want to dazzle people with. In fact, you can take 1 ounce of gold and hammer it out into a sheet that covers 300 square feet, which explains how you can make things look shiny and golden without having that much gold in them. It maintains its luster, not just looks shiny, but also remains shiny, unlike silver, which tarnishes and needs to be constantly polished, and unlike copper, which oxidizes and turns green. Look at the Statue of Liberty. It maintains its brilliant appearance essentially forever. Ask a scientist why, and they'll tell you that it is extremely unreactive. This property also gives it a few additional niche advantages. Unlike lead, it isn't poisonous. You can even eat it if you want to. Additionally, because it is unreactive, it has no taste, so if you're a chef in a high-end restaurant and you want to be, its color is distinct. Okay, so it's gorgeous, shiny, and distinctive. There are many substances that are nearly the same hue as silver, including rarer and more valuable ones like platinum and palladium, but gold is the only metal that is, or historically has been, golden. The ideal medium of exchange, King Croesus of Lydia produced the earliest gold coins that we are aware of in around 540 BC. Nowadays, that would be Western Turkey. There are some pretty compelling reasons why gold was chosen to make the earliest payments. Common metals wouldn't have fit the belt because, well, they're too common to be worth that much. Copper was used by the ancient Chinese, but it oxidizes. It's true that silver also fit the bill and was used as currency alongside gold, but as gold I thought silver was more practical. Platinum would have been impractical because there's so little of it around and it's harder to work with. Banks still hold gold reserves, and demand from central banks continues to be a major factor in why its price stays so high. In 2018, central banks purchased 651 tons of gold, a significant increase from the 651 tons they purchased in 2017. More recently, governments backed their paper currencies with gold reserves that they kept in their vaults, but this practice ended in the second half of the 20th century. The USA stopped pegging the dollar to gold in 1971, and Switzerland was the last country to abandon the gold standard in 1999. When the global financial crisis of 2008 hit, gold's value skyrocketed as investors fled to it in favor of the world's major currencies. At this point, the price of an ounce of gold exceeded $10,000. In the coronavirus crisis, you can bet your bottom dollar that the price has shot up even more, from a high of $15.42 in 2019 to its current price above $1,700 an ounce in May of this year. Well, let's think about why that is. What determines the value of any investment, including stocks, currencies, and commodities, is how people believe it to be worth and how confident they are in its ability to maintain that value. Remember that gold has been used as a store of wealth for over 2,500 years. No currency or company on the S&P 500 can compete with that, and with significant clients like central banks and the biggest fashion houses in the world, there is no reason to believe that its price will not increase over the long term. We all understand that tech businesses require it. Gold is attractive and people are confident that it will maintain its value, but besides wearing it as jewelry or storing it in a safe, it also has other uses. As if gold weren't already prized by the world's most renowned jewelers and astute investors, another group is also buying up gold-related tech companies. Because gold is one of the best electrical conductors, it is utilized in electronics and wiring in small amounts for highly specialized uses. Look at the device you're using to watch this video. You probably figured it contains gold. It may only be utilized in modest amounts, but smart devices are starting to be created. About 14% of gold is used for this purpose, and it is also used in nuclear technologies, satellites, and radiation. Protection is used in dentistry, medicine, and even injections to treat arthritis pain, as well as in visors and astronauts' goggles. Additionally, small, translucent films of gold are applied to helmets to reflect heat and sunlight. Gold has a sense of mystery as well. The most prominent luxury brands in the world have an appeal about them that almost evokes a sense of enchantment every time you hear their name. This keeps customers coming back and gives investors confidence in them. This might seem unusual to include on the list. When we visit lavish palaces or elaborately decorated churches, it is all gold that dazzles us more than anything else. Today's most fashionable brands use it to create their most opulent pieces despite the fact that it is not a brand. Gold has had this wow factor for centuries and has it in spades, or perhaps we should say in carats. You can even read about it in the Bible. Olympic medals for first place, Oscars, Grammys, Nobel Prizes, and obviously the Golden Globes are made of prestigious trophies. The number of expressions in English, or any other language, for that matter, that use the phrase to be worth your weight in gold, strike it rich, or be like a pile of gold dust suggests that gold has impressed us with its associations with nobility, the divine, and luxury, and has even ingrained itself into our way of thinking. It's almost as if gold has its own marketing department, which has been working overtime for the past 6,000 years since the first known gold artifact was carved and engraved. Will gold retain its worth, though? There is no sign of demand decreasing even if the world lost interest in beautiful jewelry overnight, as if that's about to happen with its practical applications for computing and other fields. So the answer to this question is almost certainly yes, and it could start to rise even faster in the not-too-distant future. It is estimated that stocks of gold that are still below ground and that we can realistically mine are limited, and they could run out in just 20 years from now, but there is no sign that this will happen. Handle here, we are at the end, and we're curious to know in your opinion what the most beautiful item made of gold you've ever seen. Tell us in the comments, and for sticking with us until the end, here is your bonus. You want to see the most ridiculously over-the-top bling item we could find that is made of or at least coated in gold. You want to see the gold-plated Lamborghini Aventador T. For $7.4 million, you can own a Lamborghini that is built of carbon fiber that has been covered with 500 kilograms of solid gold, diamonds in the headlights, and 700 precious stones sewn into the seats. I appreciate you taking the time to visit with us. To ensure you never miss a video, like and subscribe.